Welcome, my friends and enemies. Glad you are here. This is what I would consider to be a glorious day, which is not something I get to say very often now that I think about it. So, good news. GOG Gaming is going to be changing hands a little bit. And why is that good news, you might ask? Well, that's part of the good news. So, let's just jump right into it, shall we? According to Tom's Hardware, one of two articles we're going to look at. GOG acquired by co-founder reiterates philosophy of freedom, independence, and genuine control. CD Projekt sells platform to focus on creating games. That's the good news in a nutshell. GOG will continue releasing DRM-free games for gamers to enjoy forever. And this is the GOG page. If you've never been there on the website, it's a pretty snazzy website that obviously focuses heavier on older games than it does on the newer games, but it still does have newer games. GOG has announced that Mikhail Kaczynski, I hope I didn't butcher that, one of the founders of CD Projekt and the GOG gaming platform, acquired it completely from the video game developer. The maker of the Witcher franchise and Cyberpunk 2077 said in an announcement on its website that it's letting go of the platform to focus on upcoming projects, especially as it plans to expand its franchises. Now, why would I say this is good news? Well, specifically because when the first Witcher was coming out, the second Witcher, etc., I was a big fan of CD Projekt Red. They kept making all the right moves, they said the right things, and they stayed true to what they were about. And after The Witcher 3, everything looked to be the same, on par, on course, but then they basically swapped out pretty much their entire staff. Like, most of their veteran developers up and left and went and created another studio. And they started not making such good things, like announcements, behaviors, etc. They got very pro-ideology instead of pro-gaming, and were all about virtue signaling, about whatever would make them win brownie points with the industry. And it's like, once they really truly hit the AAA gaming sphere with The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, they kind of just decided to stop being the gamer's publisher, developer kind of thing. And they kind of went and did their own thing, which, I mean, I don't have anything against a company wanting to do their own thing, but when you're in the gaming industry, you typically want to stick to the gaming market. And if the gaming market doesn't care about the ideological mindset or the virtue signaling aspect, it's probably better on average just to stay away from the topic. Just don't comment on it. Just create your stuff. And if that's what you believe in your own time, knock yourself out. But when you come out and you actually specifically make a stink about things, we'll say, well, it's going to turn a lot of people off to your message and you as a company. And that's more or less what happened to me. Is like, they made great games and I loved their games, but then they stopped really making games and they started making ideology, and I'm not really into that. They used to be really passionate about lore, like when it came to the Witcher series. They also kind of stopped doing that. If you are familiar with the Witcher series, and also, pun intended, and also their project, The Witcher 4, which isn't really a Witcher 4 game. It's just they're using the IP name because they don't think it could stand on its own legs. What else would we do? Let's just say they could have called it the Ciri Saga, and people would probably have been okay with it for the most part. The whole becoming a Witcher thing still is counter to the book's material, the source itself. But because of that, things are changed, and they're not really anywhere in my list of favorite publishers at the moment. There are a few out there that are just kind of random here and there, and I just kind of like them because they They're like, hey, we're not going to get political. We're going to just specifically make these things for gamers, which apparently is a bad thing to a lot of people in the industry. And people give them crap for it. But you know what? The people who do say that they're there for the gamers. As long as they're saying what they say and they mean what they say and they do what they say and they follow through with what they're saying, you're gonna get people to like you. It's just how it is. So with Mikhail, however you say, sorry, dude, I'm not trying to butcher your name, Kaczynski, or Kaczynski. I don't know. I'm not Polish. Um, he was one of the founders of CD Projekt Red and the GOG gaming platform, and has basically just bought all of the GOG gaming platform from CD Projekt Red. So, to me, that's good because I really like GOG, but I was concerned, and I don't know what just happened. One second. Everything is going south because they decided to do this in the middle of me trying to do things. That's nice of them. Anyway, like I was saying, they take control of the GOG gaming platform, which I was worried about CD Projekt Red taking GOG down the ideological path and, you know, limiting what games could go on there because they don't follow a modern thing, or they're old, therefore they have bad political ideologies or whatever nonsense that they throw into it. And I was worried about that because I really like GOG and I like the policy and I want GOG to stay the way it is. DRM free, you own what you purchase. That's what I want. And seems like we're going to be getting our wish. Even though CD Projekt will no longer have ownership of the distribution platform, GOG says that it will stay true to its mission of giving players ownership over the games they purchase, especially as Kaczynski helped come up with the idea behind it in 2008. From the very beginning, GOG has always been built on strong values and clear principles. When Marcin Iwinski and I came up with the idea for GOG, the vision was simple: bring classic games back to players and ensure that once you buy a game, it truly belongs to you. Forever. Great shit. This commitment means that the players who purchase their games on the platform don't have to worry about those titles they've already bought from going away. DRM free is more central to GOG than ever, the company said in its blog. Your library stays yours to enjoy. Same access, same offline installers, same sense of ownership. Your data stays with GOG, and GOG Galaxy remains optional. Personally, I don't mind using GOG Galaxy because it not only gives you a library, but it takes basically the GOG website and puts it into a program. So if you're there and you purchase a game, you can instantly install it right from there. You can do it other ways, obviously, but it's nice and convenient, and none of their policies are going to hurt me in that regard. Changes like this can often be worrying for gamers and the industry at large. After all, consolidation in the gaming industry has left it with only a few big players like Sony, Tencent, and Microsoft, especially after it acquired Activision Blizzard King, Nintendo, Electronic Arts, Epic Games, and Take-Two. Aside from that, many of them are increasingly turning towards the subscription model, turning games from something you can purchase once and keep forever into a service where titles could disappear with little warning, which is a crime against humanity, and they should be flogged and burned at the stake after having their fingernails peeled off and stabbed with hot iron. Because that's evil. That's blatantly immoral. Just throwing that out there. Nevertheless, CD Projekt assures everyone that GOG is in good hands. For a long time now, GOG has been operating independently. Now it's going into very good hands. We are convinced that with the support of Mikhail Kaczynski, one of the GOG's co-founders, its future will be full of great projects and successes. And even though GOG is no longer under the direct control of the developer, its current and future titles will still be available to purchase on the platform. The current rumors that a sequel to Cyberpunk 2077 is in the works and will allegedly drop in 2030, but we all remember how long the original took to arrive. So, I'll throw that up there so you can enjoy it. For those of you who are aware, I guess, now that CD Projekt doesn't have control of it, we don't have to worry about anything touching it, harming it. You get the idea. But with this being the case, this is potential to be the next Steam if anything ever happens to Steam. Because they got ridiculous deals. And I mean ridiculous deals on GOG. Like go check it out yourself. Go to GOG.com and just look at the plethora of games, of varieties, styles, everything. You'll also see a ton of new stuff, but you'll see a lot of the old classics. But they're made to operate on your systems. But even better, DRM free. So let's say Gabe, current owner / CEO of Steam, retires or sells the company or something, and the person in the succession is just absolutely terrible and reneges on all of the policies they've had in place, which is basically if Steam goes down, you keep all your games for free, or what you've paid for already, so you don't have to buy them or anything else. It just, you get whatever your library is. If that's the case, then it's possible that GOG could be what everyone shifts to, because it's the only pro-consumer possibility outside of Steam. Steam's pretty pro-consumer. So if Steam falls, all we have is GOG. Now, the ideal situation is that Gabe lives forever, which is unfortunately not a reality. Or that he passes it off to a successor who is just as big on the concept as it is now as he is. But we'll see whether or not that happens. So now we're going to go straight to the source, GOG, and we're going to cut out any of the middlemen, aka other articles, and we're going to see what they say directly themselves. So it's a decent long read, but hopefully I can burn through it a bit quicker than they can anticipate. I like how they tell us how long it's going to be. But here we have, GOG is getting acquired by its original co-founder. What it means for you. 6 minutes. Hi, everyone. GOG team here. Today, Mikhail Kaczynski, one of the founders of CD Projekt and the co-founder of GOG, has acquired GOG from CD Projekt. And then why GOG and Michael Kaczynski are getting together. We believe that games that shaped us deserve to stay alive. Easy to find, buy, download, and play forever. But time is annoyingly good at erasing them. Rights get tangled, compatibility breaks, builds disappear, and nostalgic evening often turns into a troubleshooting session. Amen. That's the difference between I'm playing today, the game lives on, and I'll play someday, the game dies. As Mikko put it, GOG stands for freedom, independence, and genuine control. GOG has always built on strong values and clear principles. When Marcin Owinski and Michael Kaczynski first came up with the idea for GOG in 2007, the vision was simple: bring classic games back to players and make sure that once you buy a game, it truly belongs to you forever. Amen. In a market increasingly defined by mandatory clients and closed ecosystems, that philosophy feels more relevant than ever. This new chapter is about doubling down on that vision. We want to do more to preserve the classics of the past, celebrate standout games of today, and help shape the classics of tomorrow, including new games with real retro spirit. What it means for you. First of all, DRM free is more central to GOG than ever. Your library stays yours to enjoy. Same access, same offline installer, same sense of ownership. Your data stays with GOG, and GOG Galaxy remains optional. We'll keep our relationship with CD Projekt Red games will continue to be available on GOG, and upcoming titles from the studio will also be released on the platform. If you're a GOG patron or you donate to the preservation program, those funds will stay within GOG. Your support has been huge this year, and we think that with your help, we can undertake even more ambitious rescue missions in 2026 and 2027. Please hit the Lord of the Rings games. Please hit the Lord of the Rings games. Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. Those are the games you need to preserve. Although Star Wars has a bunch of that preserved. GOG will remain independent, or we'll have more to say about the time in 2026. GOG will remain independent in its operations. We will continue building a platform that's ethical, non-predatory, made to last, while helping indie developers reach the world. We're also committed to giving the community a stronger voice with new initiatives planned for 2026. Thanks for being the reason this all matters. A lot of companies sell games, fewer do the unglamorous work of making sure the games that shape people's lives don't quietly rot into incompatibility. Thanks for caring about this mission with us. We'll keep you posted as we ship. In the meantime, you can dig into the full frequently asked questions for the detailed answers. That was not 6 minutes, but we can go through all these, but I don't think that any of these are things. Is GOG financially unstable? Big one. No, GOG is stable and has had a really encouraging year. In fact, we've seen more enthusiasm from gamers towards our mission than ever before, probably because the rest of the world is burning to the ground. This is going to be a no. Yep, call it. What happens to your library? Nothing. So nothing has changed. Can I still down? Yes, you can still do things offline. Anybody else get it? Nope. GOG is the sole one, and yes, you'll still get that. So, but yeah, this is big news. I'm excited, and as they bring in more and more games, there's more for you to purchase, both from the new and from the old. We could have some really, really good time with that. And well, there's a way to sign this into like law for the company to where like no matter who if somebody else tries to purchase it in the future or something like that, it doesn't matter. It's this is the way the company is. If you purchase this, you cannot change this. Period. That would be nice, but that's not how reality works, and law will not protect anybody from anything. So, unfortunately, so that's what I'm excited about. That's why I think today is a great day. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about GOG being purchased by the original co-founder of GOG and CD Projekt. And do you think it's a good thing, bad thing that CD Projekt Red is no longer involved? Personally, I think it's a good thing. But if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Check the description for my personal socials for Twitter/X. Discord, which is the one I use the most commonly, and you can also hang out with me and chat, and we'll just shoot the breeze, play games, whatever. You get memes, you get Lord of the Rings all in one for Battlefield Earth RTS instructions. You get that for free, no BS, no strings attached, no nothing, just unadulterated fun. And you can also play with me. Also, check out Criticalist. I am now on Criticalist, and I'm not posting really anything TV movie because I don't really go see TV or movies. But they are planning on doing video games at some point, and once video games are on there, I will be putting out a ton of reviews because I have a lot of games and I have a lot to say. Shocking, I'm sure. You think that's totally new. But also check out the content creators list to see if there's anybody that might suit your fancy, and you can go support them, which will be helping me support them by you going there and liking, comments, subscribe, all that fun stuff to their stuff. And if you think of a content creator that you think might be nice to be added to the list, throw a link in the comments or at least a name, preferably more than a link, and I'll take a gander at them. And if I think they're good enough to add to the list, I'll throw them on the list, and more people can hopefully find them. Also, after that, check out the businesses section if you are interested in supporting those in the business world that support our corner of the world, which is anti-censorship, pro-consumer, pro-free speech, all that fun jazz. So, thanks everybody for sticking around, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, my friends, walk in the light.